Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for March the 11th, 2020. Today, as promised from yesterday, we're going to address Keir Starmer. Before that, PMQs. Budget statement. Oh boy, we've got a lot to do. The budget will be tomorrow, okay? And PMQ should be tonight, but I can't guarantee it just yet. If it is though, I will put it as a pinned comment in the description down below, but if it is going to be on, it'll be at 9:30pm GMT. So during GMB, much like with Lisa Nandy, Keir Starmer was challenged on his Brexit policy, with Piers Morgan dubbing it a threat to democracy. This is because Piers Morgan regularly clashes with Remainers, which includes Keir Starmer. This all came about because MPs have backed a bill aimed at blocking the Prime Minister from leaving the EU without a deal which could in fact scupper the current Brexit plans. Piers Morgan took issue with this, hinting that a Remainer Parliament could be attempting to stop Brexit from happening at all. Piers Morgan decided, because it is the right thing to do, to ask Keir Starmer about this because he campaigned to remain, but also because he was Shadow Brexit Secretary. When Piers asked about Article 50 being signed off by Parliament and that there was a clear understanding by every MP that we'd either leave with a deal or not, but at the end of that process we would leave the EU, Keir Starmer argued that Labour had made it clear that the party would do everything in its power to block a no-deal Brexit, but also made some predictions that would have proved inaccurate, with him saying, "I made it very clear we are opening the gate for the PM to start negotiations. We were not going to accept at the end whatever it was. Our 2017 manifesto made it clear that we would do everything to prevent a no-deal Brexit." And having campaigned hard for Remain, and the Labour Party having done that, when the result came in, we accepted the result and we triggered Article 50. So what makes this all really interesting, by the way? Well, it could be the fact that that happened in 2019, mid to late no less, which is baffling them why it got published now. I guess it was an attempt to try and undermine him and make him equally look incompetent next to Lisa Nandy. Continuing on from that, Keir Starmer has in fact refused to rule out rejoining the EU in the future. By the way, well done to the Express for its intellectual honesty at bringing back something we all knew about that really isn't at all relevant now. Thank you. So, Keir Starmer has refused to rule it out, admitting it is not a priority and not the immediate future. This came at hustings, where he said it is for our kids to decide what our future relationship is. He is the only candidate not to rule out campaigning to reverse Brexit at the Labour hustings in Dudley, with his comments being considered a huge U-turn. Unsurprising, most MPs do this all the time. It should be noted, Keir Starmer, while a passionate Remainer, and being one that pushed to back a second referendum, did tell the hustings that the party's Brexit policy had not been the main factor to the loss. Shots fired, I guess. This does mean, by the way, that Lisa Nandy and Rebecca Long-Bailey both do support not rejoining the EU straight away, in the sense of not campaigning on it because, quite frankly, that would be a mockery to the process, which was quite painful, I will admit. The final thing related to Keir Starmer that I want to address is that Keir Starmer has been accused of being silent on the suspension of Trevor Phillips, this suspension being dubbed Orwellian. Lord Mann, who is a prominent former Labour MP, has criticised Sir Keir Starmer for refusing to intervene in the row over Mr Phillips, an anti-racism campaigner who is a member of his constituency party in Holborn and St Pancras. It was revealed not so long ago that Mr Phillips, the former head of the Britain's Equalities Watchdog, faced expulsion from the Labour Party for alleged prejudice against Muslims. Mr Phillips has since called on the Labour leadership contenders to pick a side and say whether they support his suspension, because, in his view, it is a test for the kind of party these candidates want to lead. My view is, you shouldn't just throw someone out because of an allegation. It should be investigated and then, of course, judged upon once properly concluded. So perhaps that's why he has been silent, because there are very few versions of it where he can look good by saying something about it. Although I do think honesty might help. He is, after all, a politician, so being honest is also counterproductive. So, with the case of Trevor Phillips, I do think an investigation has to happen first. If Keir Starmer's not going to speak about it, chances are it's because he needs to win first. And even then, he still has to, for optics' sake, look good. Although how he looks good on this one's going to be tricky. Well done to the Express for posting something late. That was genius. And nice one, Keir, for not having a position on Brexit or Trevor Phillips. As with all things, I'm very much interested to know what you think, so please do let me know in the comments down below. If I don't see you here tonight, 9:30pm GMT, either for PMQs or just because I'm not here, I hope you'll have a fantastic Wednesday.